Hello everyone. Well, today I thought I would concentrate on doing some tags. I've been doing some recently for a journal I'm making, and they've turned out rather nice. So I thought I would make some on camera, just show you the process I go through. Okay, so I'll put those away, and I'll start with going through the base that I normally prepare. So I've got this piece of cardboard, it's just from some packaging, and this piece is from a box. I think it's a doggy biscuit box. Look at that beautiful face. So I'll be gluing on that side, and another strip which I'm going to make a smaller tag with. So first of all, I'm going to glue some bits of paper. This is a piece of paper that went wrong in the printer. It's got some words on and quite a lot of ink. I had to retrieve it. And some fabric. That would be quite a nice base. It's an old shirt. And I've got some patterned paper as well. So I want to have a bit of space so I can cut around. So I'll just glue that one down there and the fabric here. This one, because it's fabric, I'm going to use some liquid glue, some PVA glue. So I'm just going to pop that straight on the cardboard, give it a nice dollop. And a bit more. There we are, and pop the fabric on. So this cardboard is the same both sides, so it doesn't matter which side I stick it on. This one I'm probably just going to use my glue stick. And I'll put some on this, and then also some on the paper. Pick my music. Oh, that's quite nice, that one. This is just out of an old book that I happen to have. I had made a pocket out of it, but I didn't like it, so it's going to be transformed to a tag. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and stick the other bits down. I'll do that off camera, and then I'll come back when they're all glued and ready to go. Okay, so I've stuck on bits of paper onto this card. I did stick it on the wrong side. I was going to stick it on here, but I'll be able to cover that. I'll show you how I do that. I've stuck a little bit on here. I've just got a plain piece of orange card that I'm going to use, and I've stuck these here. So I'm going to cut these now into tag shape so I can work on them. I'll just get my guillotine. roughly, I can trim all this up again. That's fairly straight there. Cut this one off, otherwise I'm going to mess them both up. And I'll have that one about there. And the thing is with these things, if you mess up, you can always start again, or just add to it or reshape it. That's that one. It's going to be quite a big tag. This one I've got to be careful because I've stuck the image on a slightly wonky angle. Right, there we are. There's 2 tags to start working on. So I'm going to cut up the other ones and I'll be back. So that's them all cut up. They cut up quite nicely. And even the fabric went through the guillotine, although I did have to help with some scissors. Still not quite dry, that one. So so now I'm going to sort of add things to them. I've got ribbons, I've got buttons, I've got words, and I'm going to work on each one separately. But first what I'm going to do is ink them all up. These are going to be quite magnificently large. That's quite nice. Statement tag. So I'm going to ink all of those, and then of course I'm going to, I haven't got a tag template, so I'm just going to cut the end off there. And cut the end off there, so I'll do that with all of them. Put a hole through, and then I'll come back when I'm going to start on one of the tags. So I'm going to ink them up, cut them into shape, and then I'll be back. Now, what I forgot to say was, as I mentioned earlier, on a lot of these I've stuck the image to the wrong side. But that's good because we can show you what I do next. So, because that happens a lot of the time. I've got lining paper, which is a roll of wallpaper, which is very cheap. People use it to go on their walls to cover up cracks and things. And all I'm going to do is stick a piece onto that side so that that could be for writing on the tag, and I can decorate that a little bit, and then I'll cut the edges off. So I'm going to do that with a lot of them because I think I've done it with most of them. Okay, so to save you watching me stick on the back of them, I'm going to do that, cut the edges off, ink them up, and then I will be back. I've gone on and cut the edges, inked up, They've all got backing paper on now, and with most of them I put the gold rings in just to finish them off a little bit. I put the hole punch in. I found this lovely little neat hole punch on the internet. I was looking for the ones I've seen the ladies use, they call them crocodiles I think, but I haven't been able to find them. But this works marvellously, it even went through the fabric. So that's those. I've just got to put one more gold ring in here. I do get these very wrong at times, and I have to try and ease them out. But hopefully this one will be okay. Yep, that's fine. I just think it finishes. I don't always put them on, but I think it finishes them off a bit nicer. So I've cut the tops of the tags that way. I could round some of them. I might do that. I'll think about that. See what this one I've done concave cutouts rather than square edged, and I've done that by using the hole punch. And inside the hole punch there's a sort of a cross, and I've eased this in to one of the quarters. I'm doing this at a distance now, so hopefully it'll be alright. And cut there, and then the same that side. Just ease it into the quarter mark. There, that's fine. That one might be a little big, I might put a little more in there. And so I'm going to have that one as a nice long tag. So, firstly I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to paint on these. So the fabric one has still got to dry a little bit. And I've just got some water paints here, watercolours, and I'm just going to just roughly splodge some paint on. Probably need a bigger brush than this. Just randomly some splodges, because I'm just going to draw on that then. So this is sort of a background, and I've been quite random about it, and hoping for the best. So I'll carry on with those and come back and show you when I've finished that. The other thing I'm going to do, because they've all got this lining paper on the back, which is very nice and will be great for writing on in journals, but looks a bit dull. So I've got my script stamp. And I'm just going to, it doesn't generally matter which way, but randomly add some script on the back just to, so it's not quite so plain. There. Okay, well I'll carry on with those bits and then I'll be back. So I've just painted over this with some light pink and then some dark. I'm going to draw some flowers here, but I've just got to wait for that to dry. I've done a light blue over the whole of this one, and I've painted a flower. I'm going to, when this is dry, I'm going to paint the petals, probably a darker blue, and the yellow centre. I'll see, but it's got to dry a bit before I can draw on those. Now these, let's see, I mean, I've got lots of inspiration from the internet, and so this is just my take on things that there. This is a piece of paper from cutting off from this happy accident with the printer, so I may put that underneath there. Not quite sure about that, whether to leave that, maybe put some fabric under there, but I'm definitely going to stick that on there. This one I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. This one I found some fabric and I've pulled it about, frayed it, and generally roughed it up. So I'm going to stick that on there, with some PVA glue, and then I've cut out a heart which I'm going to put on there, and then that way, and then stitch around on the sewing machine on that one with a little word, and maybe some stick-on pearls, I'll see. So that requires a sewing machine, so I'll do that off camera, come back with that one. I'm trying to do lots of tags all at once, of course, which is what I do. This beauty, I've got a bit of the music paper that I've torn off, and I thought of sticking that down. I've seen someone sort of make a rippling effect like that, and I've got some little flowers that I use for cake decorating. I may get those and put those there, but I'm not sure about this because if it goes into a journal, of course it will be flattened. So I'm thinking about that one. This one, I thought I would put this leaf on here, but I'm going to paint this leaf. These are the ones I bought. I'm going to paint it blue, so that a darker blue, so that it stands out. Well, that's the idea. So I'm going to get some paper down, paint that blue, and then I've got some letters, and I may put some letters down there, and I'll paint those blue. I'm not sure. I'll try it, see what it looks like, sort of natural colour. So that's that one. So there's lots to do, but I'm going to just tidy up a little bit, paint this leaf, and hopefully this will be dry and I can draw on that, and I may just stick this on here. Okay, well, I'll be back to show you what I've got up to. Okay, I'm at the sewing machine. I'm not sure if this is a good view. And what I've done is put my fabric. I haven't glued it, I've just popped it and folded it on the card, and I'm just going to place this one on top and hope that the stitches will keep it in place. I've got brown cotton on the top. I thought that would contrast quite well, and just white for the other side, or cream. So we'll try this on camera. Put the glasses on, slow it down a bit, and off we go. So I'm just going to go round the heart a few times. Going a bit slow here, but I don't want to run away with it, because the trouble is, once you've started sewing on card, it makes a hole in it, and then if you have to unpick it, it's still okay if you make a mistake. Like there, I've gone a bit square. I'll have to gradually go, I think. Okay, so that's generally what I'm going to do. I'm going to go round a few times. Seems to have flattened out my fabric a bit, but I can always bunch that up and stick it. So I'll go around a few times and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've gone round about 3 times, so I'm going to have a look at that again and see what else to put on there. I'm going to do just a bit more sewing on this one. I've got this frill that I've made, and I'm going to edge it on here. I'm going to put some gold cotton on top, so I'll change that and then I'll come back when it's all done. Okay, just finished sewing, and I've put the heart on there. This one I've sewn around the edge in gold, and it's funny, when you start sewing, you've got no idea what you're going to do. I changed the stitch to this, the diamond shape here on one of the patterns, and thought, oh, that would look quite nice down the centre, so that's what I've done there, and it's all looking okay on the back as well. I've stitched this frill on. I've done another video to show you how I make those frills. So I've just got to cut this off, and I could probably tear it, but so I just bent the frill over and doubled it up so it looks nice there. So those two are coming along. I've got my tin of buttons here. I'm going to put some buttons on this one. I may have too many buttons. Makes it difficult to choose, but I may put that one on there. I've got to take the cotton off that one. Clear one. I've got an orangey one. I might put both of those on. So I'll stitch those on, and I may add a little bit of music there, and I've got some letters that I may add on here. So I'll have a fiddle about with that one. I found for this green one I'm doing with the music notes, I found this little lace lady that I've obviously cut out a long time ago from a doily. She's rather nice, so I might stick her on there with the music. I think she's holding an umbrella or something, or maybe that's her hand. Okay, so I'm going to have a tidy up and have a little sort out and see what I'm going to put on where, and then I'll be back. I think normally I would concentrate on one tag. I've tried to do a marathon here, but I've finished that one. I've put a couple of buttons, sewn those on, and I thought it needed something down here, so I've just put some press studs in there, little black press studs that I had. Thought that looked rather effective with the music notes there. So I think that's more or less finished. I put a little ribbon just for contrast there. This one I painted the leaf and I stuck that on, and it folds over onto the other side a little bit, which is quite effective. Must ink up the sides of those a bit better. I've stuck some letters on, just spelling out beauty. I did start to paint the letters, but I didn't think it would show up as well. I've sewn 3 buttons on. Where I've sewn the buttons on, I'm just going to, no, I don't mind seeing the stitching, but I thought I'd use some washi tape as well, which I've got here. I can find the end. So I'll just randomly tear it there and put that across there. That looks quite nice. Put that over there, and I'm going to ink the edges a bit better. So I thought I might use this blue ribbon. I'm going to put it in anyway, but I may change it for a white one, but I won't do that on camera because it's very fiddly. This one, I think I'm just going to put a nameplate over the words there, which went a bit wrong on the printer, but if I put a nameplate over there, that'll look quite nice. So I have my bradle that my husband made for me. I just mark it. And glasses off. again. I can't see where I've done that now. I think my camera's about to. Right, hello again. Right, I'm back with it. Had to have a little break to do a few jobs. But I've come back and I've been fiddling about with the music backed tags. And where I painted, I've used a charcoal pencil and drawn some very simple flowers and used my paints to add to that. I'm considering putting a little word on there and maybe a button. With this one I've charcoaled a sort of like a half daisy that's been plucked, as we do, and I was using some of my coloured pencils. I was going to just do a darker blue on the petals, but that's not working so well, so I've got my tiny paintbrush again, and I'm going to just paint some blue. We're going to get very messy. If I don't like this, I've considered covering it up with some collage, but I thought it was worth just trying it. It's harder to do this at a distance so that I've got it in the camera lens, but because I painted the background a pale blue, so the centre here is a little blue, but I may paint that yellow to match those. Anyway, I'll carry on with that one for the moment and then I'll come back. Right, well, we're getting there. I coloured this flower in with my paints. They're just ordinary, a palette of just watercolours, and I left the middle plain, and then I thought no, it needed something, so I've just coloured that in a sort of a golden yellow. So that's not quite finished. This one, what did I do with this one? Because I had my paintbrush in my hand, I thought, oh, I'll do some Jackson Pollock like spots and splashes. So went a bit crazy there with reds and blues and greens. So I've just left them in blobs. They're obviously going to absorb in and flatten, so I'm going to just leave those to dry until I decide how to finish them off. Now I'm left with just this one now to sort out. I've been fiddling around with it. I was going to do a type of mosaic on here. I have this bit of music, but I don't want to entirely cover up this lovely paisley design, damask design. So I think what I'm going to do, this is a previous collage of mine, which I showed on another video. So I think what I'm going to do is stick something on like that. I've got another little bit here that I'm probably going to round the corners of and lay that on there. I am going to try and have this sort of with a ripple effect by gluing it down one side and then maybe fastening with I found a little heart brad to go on there. But I also may add some of this lovely gold. I'm probably going to cut around that. And rather than have ripped edges, which is what I tend to go for, I'm going to cut straight edges and round the ends just to mirror what's going on there. So I just tend to not have a plan and see what looks best at that moment and go with it. I don't know if you remember, I did have this little girl that I was going to have on here, but I'm not sure about her, so I'm going to save her for another day. So I'll fiddle about with that, wait for the others to dry, and then I'll bring all the tags back in and we'll have a look at them. Last two complete. I've painted that in and I've put a letter on and painted it up. These are letters that I've got from Hobbycraft, and you can leave them natural or paint them. So I've stuck that one on there. I've edged it in blue, put a blue ribbon on. This one, I have to say I struggled with a little bit, but finally came together. I did the flowers and then the spots, and then I used this music strip, which I was going to use on another one, and put a little heart there, a heart brad, and then a word, and then I pinked up the edges on both sides. So I think it's turned out okay there. So I'll just move the camera up a little bit so I can bring the others in and we'll have a look at all of them. So I'll just move the camera. There, I think they're all in shot now. So you've seen that one. This one I did show you. It's the long one with the wording on. I've added a key on that one just to give it an added bit of interest. That one we've looked at. This one I did end up doing the collage, so put the gold piece on, rounded the corners and added these bits of collage that I've done previously, and then I had some numbers in the boxes that I showed you, and that picked out the green on that one, and I added some ribbon to the top. So that's finished. This one, we sewed the heart on, placed buttons on, and then the little poppers. So that's finished. That one we added the nameplate, and it had all the nice stitching. And this was the happy accident one from the printer with a frill. And then this large one here with the leaf on, some letters, a nice ribbon and some buttons. So I think they've all turned out rather special. So I'm going to add those to a journal I'm completing, and I'll give you a run through of the journal when it's done. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll be back again to do some more making. It's such a lovely thing to do together, and there are lots of ideas I'm sure that you can add to. I mean, I certainly could with these. I mean, I could stitch around here, add some more words, some more colours. There's no end to what you could do. I could stitch around this one, So that's the lovely part about this type of art, is that you can just, it's never finished really. You can just go on and on creating. So we'll see you again for the next video, and enjoy your crafting. Now, what was I saying about things being finished? Of course, I went away having talked about stitching, and I thought, maybe I will. So I don't know if you can see it better on the back here, but I've stitched just down this side and along the bottom. I've added some pearls on that one, some more stitching on here, a few little pearls, stitching on here, nice pattern going on there, and along there with a little pearl added. This one I've stitched just in areas, and it looks rather nice on the back too. And I've added these little pearls. So, say never. Well, I've also added some pearls on the flowers there. Can't really say they're complete. Art is never complete. Okay, but that's all for today. So we'll be back again to do some more art and crafting. Take care.